the Constitutional Council validating the draft law on the pension reform, apart from a couple of elements, but the bulk of it has been validated, and President Macron enacted it over the weekend, which means that from September, the minimum retirement age will raise from 62 to 64 gradually. Will actually reach 64 only by 2030. And the Prime Minister Elizabeth Borne tweeting this weekend that we have now reached the end of the democratic process and there are neither winners nor losers. So what now? The far left opposition talking about a democratic hold-up, the far right opposition, Marine Le Pen, saying that she will repeal this law if she is elected. The union said they will keep on with the pressure, again focusing on May the 1st and on Labour Day. They call about a tsunami of protest that day. Actually, the president had invited the unions at the Elysee on Tuesday. They have all rejected that invitation, said they wanted to meet him before the law was enacted, but not now anymore. So the president will actually address the nation this evening, try to turn the page and move on. He will talk about pay, about working conditions, about public services, etc. So he really tries to move on to the next phase. And of course, while the legal deadlock is now over, the political and the social one is still very much in place. There's a question of the legacy of President Macron, how he can govern for the next few years. And looking at some of the recent polls that have been published earlier this month, it looks like what the far left has been the most vociferous opposition to this pension reform in the Assembly and in the streets. They don't benefit from it, but looking at polls, is the far right candidate, Marine Le Pen, that is very much benefiting from it. And that in an Elabé poll that was published earlier this month, it shows that if the second one was happening today, she's the one who will be elected at 55% against 45% against Emmanuel Macron. So, there's a question what this crisis means for French politics. Of course, Emmanuel Macron is not seeking a re-election. He has his 2 mandates. He cannot run for an election again. He knew it would be very contentious. That's why he wanted to get on with it early on. And he has 4 years ahead of him. Of course, we're reaching next week the 1 year after his re-election. He talked about reuniting the country, governing differently, etc., etc. While looking at what's happening in the country, you could argue that he has failed to do that, but he has 4 years to try to convince people. Looking at polls, it looks like the far right is, for the moment, the main beneficiary of this whole episode.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.